Alright, back now. 50-second session. Let's get started. So, we're back once again. You have me, you have the shirt that's having its own revolution right here on my chest with space and time. What could go wrong? Anything might happen. Just keep focused on me. No, I'm just kidding. But look, we finished off that last video, right? With reclaiming and investing and buying up your psychological real estate. Right? So, in that action-packed video, basically, yeah, man. I mean, that's what you have to do. You have to be a broker of the mind. You know, be your own broker. You know, I have many titles. I look at myself as many things. You know, ranging from Sumari to crossroads dealer, angel, demon, whatever fits the profile for the time. When I travel into other realities, I take on whatever role that is necessary, that will best be suitable for whatever reality I'm in. And we all do that at some level. You know, we do that here, in this reality. When you go out to work, we all wear a mask. You know, you put on. We all have to bullshit at some point, just a little bit. I mean, I don't like it any more than the next person. And mostly my personality stays the same, actually. I don't have to bullshit with anybody. But quite naturally, like when you go into places, like if I have to go to a government office, there's certain things I do just to make the process run a little smoother. Now, as you see, I'm all tattooed up. I got tons of jewelry. If I had to go to immigration over here to handle something, I mean, I don't know. The jewelry stays on, most likely, but like my tattoos, I hide them and stuff. Not because of, oh, you know, I'm getting weak and I'm embarrassed of who I am, but it's mostly because it just makes my fucking paperwork process a lot faster. Um, if I go in and giving them ideas, putting ideas in their head to suspect me of anything, and it slows down my process of getting what I want. So it would be a lot faster if I accommodate their insecurity by just wearing a long sleeve shirt and not letting them wonder about my private life or what I'm into. But yeah, so yeah, you know, see yourself as a broker, man, a broker of the mind, anything, any title you want. It's your, this is the privilege is afforded to you, you know, through the power of all that is, you can do what you want. And I like to broker things out, you know, to other people, other entities and other realities. I travel through, I come across certain individuals that seem like they have some potential and an interest, and that's when I pull them on over to the Sumari Nation, give them that way, that free pass, which is back to themselves, basically, and give them that opportunity to rejoin the living, the true living, which is unlimited. And yeah, so this video right here, I want to get into a little bit about creativity and how once you start using your consciousness more, things happen. You know, you hear a lot of talk about, I've talked about in the past in my videos, being more spontaneous with life, everything in general, just being more spontaneous. Spontaneous! I'm fucking spitting her. You know when I get excited, I lose it. But, yeah, man, on a real note, real tip, basically, when you let loose and stop limiting yourself, amazing things happen, man. Like, it's just, the trip is unbelievable because we're all creative, right? We're all creative beings, but we're not using it. So when you look at the current state of affairs, right, in our reality right now. Every time you turn the news, the TV, it's a fucking war, and this person's bombing this person, these people are shooting these people in Paris, these people are doing drone attacks, this newspaper is writing something racist about Muslims have a no-go zone, Sharia law, all this shit, man. And I'm like, what does this really say to me as an individual? As a Sumari, as a conscious being, a multi-dimensional being, I mean, what does this say to me about the current state of affairs? How do I perceive this? And just from my perspective, I see it as, at least in this reality, they haven't really evolved to anything, man. It's like, what is evolution? They claim that, like, human beings, this is my fake professor voice now, human beings have not evolved for the last 10,000 years. In the past 10,000 years, we've come down from trees, little monkeys, and we picking fucking grapes, and, no, you didn't say fucking, but, I'm getting at, man. You come up with this fucking Oxford University voice, and that's supposed to give us this air of, like, what he's saying is really important, because he's using this, like, I've studied with the best universities, the best professors in the world, and I think it's like this. Well, alright, well, fuck your opinion, because I don't think it's like that. And I know it's not like that, according to my standards. And basically, right, what was I getting at? I got lost there. Yeah, they say that we haven't evolved for 10,000 years. And I'm like, I could agree with that on a level of, if you look at the current state, I mean, yeah, we're still talking about race, who's doing this, what color. The truth is, we actually have evolved. And evolution is an ongoing process. Evolution is simply consciousness expressing itself to the best of its capacity. If these people claim that we haven't evolved, it's fucking their fault. These institutions that have been preventing us. Now, nothing can stop evolution, because to stop evolution would mean to stop conscious creation. And consciousness must express itself in any form that it deems necessary, that it has to express itself at that moment point. So this is what I want to put to you for you to meditate on for the day, right? Is it that consciousness is not evolving, or is it evolving and it has been evolving for a long time, but the so-called mutants and individuals that have evolved, they're seen as crazy, having mental instability, psychopaths, eccentric weirdos, freaks, me, or maybe even you. When you look at all great discoveries in our reality, most of them are made by fucking weirdos, according to the status quo. Like, this person, it's funny how at one point you're a complete weirdo fucking freak, and then once he discovers he was one of the greatest minds of the 21st century, the 20th century, or whatever century we're in, people calling you a genius. And it's like, well, wait a minute, I was a crackpot, 3 days ago. Now I'm a genius, man. So it's like, this is what I'm getting at in this rant. What I'm saying is, right, evolution has been happening for a long time, and they said that the mind hasn't really improved. When we think in terms of evolution, we're going back to this fucking Darwinism, and this idea of, like, yeah, monkeys came from trees, and then we started walking, and then we walked upright, and from dinosaurs to birds to whatever. But it's like, what's happening now? What's happening now is, like, you have individuals like me, like you, like millions of other who have manifested here. We come in and we talk about things that, according to the normal standards of society, sounds pretty out there, sounds pretty fucking wild, man. And it's like, when you have people saying, like, look, I had an out-of-body experience, I was out of my body completely, I'm going into other realms of reality, my dream states are becoming weird, suddenly I'm able to access my dreams at will, suddenly I'm able to remember in long periods in the dream state, or I was sitting on my couch in the daytime, not sleeping, kind of like in a half sleep, half awake, aka trance state, and I completely left my body, and these beings appeared before me and told me the information about the universe and the cosmos, and that we're all one and we're all united. When you hear stuff like that, people just say, oh, he's a fucking crackpot, man, he's crazy, he's on drugs, and it's like, that may be true. However, though, I'm going to get on that just real quickly. When people go on drugs, right, when people do drugs, and they say that they had these amazing experiences, it's really easy for us to just say, oh, he was on drugs, he's a crackhead, look at his shoes, look at his feet, he doesn't even cut his toenails, he must be a junkie. And it's like, alright, all that may be true too, but does that discredit his experience? I mean, when people come out with these stories about they had this multi-dimensional experience and met entities or elves or whatever, and the moment you say, yo, I was on drugs when I did that, people just say, oh, he's a fucking crackhead. But does it go deeper than that? And it's like, is it that this person had that experience because of the drugs, or did the drugs actually initiate the perceptive mechanisms to open up to that realm of reality? And that's something that could be debated. Now we have things like ayahuasca in Peru, DMT, which is dimethyltryptamine, LSD, and we have all these psychoactive drugs that change consciousness. Now I'm not like I said in the other videos, I'm not saying we all need to go out and start doing drugs. I'm simply making a point that instead of discrediting these people's experiences, perhaps their experience were brought on and made possible because of these, pharmaceutical agents that were given to them, the narcotics. But back to what I was saying earlier about evolution. We've already been evolving. If you want to think in terms of, like, you see movies like X-Men and mutants, and in those movies, right, like when mutants are becoming public, people are against them. And it's like, that's no different than what we have now. You have individuals who come forward and they say, I have these abilities. Immediately, society goes on a witch hunt, and it's like, instead of people saying, well, wait a minute, this might be something. I mean, this guy seems pretty well grounded, and he's giving us some pretty detailed information, and it sounds pretty good. Maybe we should look more into this. Just like in the movies, they go on a witch hunt. They do the same thing here. They try to destroy your career, ruin your chances at future work in other places, discredit you, publicly embarrass you, humiliate you, and this is what happens. So this builds up the fear of, like, even when people do have these experiences, they're afraid to go forward. I've gotten so much mail from people from all over the world, from fucking Ukraine, Germany, Russia, wherever. I got a lot of mail from people saying, hey man, I watched your videos, what you're talking about is exactly, or at least very similar to what I've experienced. And that just goes to show you that. And I'm just one individual putting up some YouTube videos, in the vast, infinite space of the internet. So if I'm getting that, imagine if we all came together and started talking about these things more. We would get more information. So the point of this whole little gist is, you may be a mutant, or whatever you want to call it. You may be one of those few individuals who have already evolved into something different, something very different from the perspective of the species as a whole. When I look at the news, and it's mind-boggling to me. It's like, these people have not evolved. When you look at people like our world leaders and people who are running the show, or have the illusion of running the show, they're not very evolved, because their solution to everything is very simplified. It's like, we have problems in the Middle East. How are we going to handle it? Alright, drone strikes. I mean, these are our world leaders. They're supposed to be like the elite of society. These people make the rules, they make the big decisions, they get the big bucks to guide us into, the future of success. And the most they can come up with is drone strikes, send more troops to, indigenous lands to lay waste to them, and, burn down their homes through violence and destruction. This is what they can come up with. It's like, it doesn't exactly seem like, the powerful minds that should be running the world. This seems more like the fucking, Legion of Doom or something. Yeah, man. I think that's that group in, DC Comics, whatever. You get the Legion of Doom, sitting around a table, and it's like, my vision for politics is like the Legion of Doom. It's like they're sitting around, not like the Justice League, but they're like sitting around a table, like, how can we best destroy the Middle East? More drone strikes. You know what I'm getting at, man. It's like they're not creative. That's the point I'm making. They're not very creative in handling situations. Everything with them is geared towards money and making a profit. So it's like, I have a vision sometimes of what happens when there's no more people to persecute on the planet. Um, and this goes into, I don't remember exact details, but I think Werner von Braun or some guy from NASA, who, when he was dying, supposedly on his deathbed, he talked to this woman about how they were weaponizing space. And then you had, I think it was Ronald Reagan at some point, made a speech at the United Nations about how, paraphrasing now, maybe we need like some outside source to bring us together. And when you see movies like Independence Day, any alien invasion movies, all has the same theme. We're living on this planet. They portray it as like we're living peacefully, and like nothing's bothering us. Everyone's at peace. Here come these fucking aliens, and it's like we gotta unite together. Of course, America's in the lead, and running the show, and we gotta pull together and battle this outside force, this outside entity, and it's like a new cultural narrative basically being set up that at some point they're like giving us the hint, just like Hollywood gives us hints at shit that they're gonna produce and introduce into society. They give it to us in movie form first, and then we watch that, and then we go, well, the idea gets in our heads, and then when it's introduced, we react accordingly because we've already been programmed for it. So, they introduce these movies and these concepts about what to expect. So at some point when they do, how much the Middle East is basically in shambles. It's like, just at some point it's going to be a pile of rock, just rocks and rubble if they keep at the rate they're going. So what happens when all that runs out? You could jump to China and make them into an enemy. I don't know. U.S. has good deals with most countries. North Korea is not really a threat, even though they give this illusion of a threat. So when all that dies out, then you gotta have, my vision is like, in some alternate universe where we actually come together, we finally get it all together. Seth Sumari Dark Arts videos brings the world together to a new level of spirituality and consciousness, and everyone starts to unite. It's like, wait a minute, what's that in the sky? It's an alien invasion. And that is gonna be the new point to bring about this kind of, I don't like using that word, new world order, but basically it'll have us shifting our attention to a new enemy, but at the same time that will justify things like the military industrial complex. We need more weapons now, we need more high power, we need fucking plasma guns to beat these aliens. That's what's gonna happen, and I'm not making any prediction, I'm just giving a scenario of what is possible if we did come together. We like to believe that Washington, all these government agencies, that they actually have like, we like to believe, they don't know anything, but they're actually a lot smarter, and it's probably not even Washington. This goes beyond Washington. This is like some cabal of entities, and I'm not getting into like some David Icke reptilian stuff, although anything's possible. But it's like, when I say entities, we're all entities on the planet. I'm an entity, you're an entity. Other individuals who are beyond the political status of people that we know. And these people basically, pull the strings and set things up to fall into motion. So I'm sure they have, they plan for everything ahead. They already have a scenario where if we did come together and have like this kind of revolution, that they already have a backup plan for that. And it's like, alright, how about aliens? And if we get past aliens, gods from another dimension, and we get past that, it's fucking, Mr. Mixfix, which is, I think, a character from, I don't know his name, maybe I'll pronounce it, it's the character from Batman, who's this little impish creature from the fifth dimension and shit. They'll find something, that's the point I'm making. They'll find something to keep us on this track of murder and destruction and being completely disconnected from yourself. So, I'm going to end this video because it looks like it might be going over, but, fuck man, I forgot what I was talking about. Oh yeah, being spontaneous. See how I get lost, man? I end up on this journey, and I travel through so many other realms, and I lose my place. But being creative, I'll just finish on this, right? You gotta be more spontaneous. You gotta be more creative. And, in the summertime, I think I told you guys already, I was a nude model basically for this Japanese professional painter, and I was honored to be a model for him because he wants to use my tattoos in one of his art galleries and stuff. And if you got me on Facebook, go on Facebook, you see his name is Sojiro Takamura, and you can see some examples of his work and what he's doing. And basically, he sent me a Christmas card which had a photo of my, one of the photos of what we took. Now, I don't know if the photo was actually of his painting of me or an actual photo of me. That's how good he is. Like, I don't actually know. And I don't want to pressure him because I don't want to be like, I mean, he's an artist, so I don't want to be like, what's the secret? What's going on here? So, I respect his way, and if he wants to tell me, he'll tell me. But basically, I'm just trying to pull this up right now to just give you a hint at what's going on, basically. So, as I said, he sent me this card. Like in Japan, they have this culture of sending Christmas cards to people, and people put little designs on it, but no one's card is as gangster as my card, This is just a photo of me and him chilling. This was the day of our photo shoot when we actually got together. I know you might not be able to see this too clearly, but if you go on Facebook, you can see it. Yeah, man, twins from another dimension. That was us chilling, and the actual card that he sent to me looks like this. Hold up, let me pull that up here, and let's see if I can zoom in on that. Go over. All right. Can't really see it too much. Hold on. Alright, so you can see there. Hold on, try to mellow this out a bit. Well, just go if you go onto Facebook and you get a better look at it. You guys just getting a real bad example now. But basically, this was the card he sent me. That's a picture of me with my tattoos out, and I'm guessing that. No, I don't know. You could get this is really bad quality. As I said, you can get better quality if you go on Facebook. You can see like the details. But yeah, that's what we're into, man. Now, me doing that was a big thing. I mean, not really. I mean, I'm a bit of a thrill seeker and shit. But like I said in other videos, when I had the opportunity to do it the first time, I was like, I don't know. But then, because I thought it was like this big process, and then he was like, well, you have to be naked. I was like, naked? Sounds like some crazy shit. I want to do it. And that's just an example of like how being spontaneous is good. Now, this is another picture I'm going to show you. I got to make a video on this maybe next time. But if you go onto Facebook, if you have Facebook, I go into details about a picture of an entity that approached me in another realm of reality and was seeking me out basically. And we had a little bargaining deal going down, and we both came to terms with an agreement. And it wanted to manifest itself here in physical reality. I don't draw. I'm not an artist in the traditional sense of sitting down drawing things. The last time I drew anything was probably in junior high school or something like that for class. But I haven't touched a pen or pencil as far as drawing for maybe more than 20 years or something like that. But anyway, I woke up at 3 a.m. in the morning and basically manifested this picture here. This is the character that came to me. If you want to get a better quality photo of it, just go onto Facebook. You can get it. But basically, this is what I manifested at 3 a.m. in the morning, and this is the character. But you can get more information about what happened with me with that, and I'll probably make a video about that. But being creative, that's an example of spontaneous creativity. You have to let it loose, man. You gotta let it loose. Remember I told you get your own books, start writing your own knowledge down. This is my book, showed it to you before. What I had to do is I had to get some. I bought this book in New York from Barnes & Nobles. I'm not in New York, obviously, so the quality, like the inside of the book, like this, at some point I got pissed off, ripped out some pages. I regret that. But I needed to put more pages in here, so basically I went and bought some other books to kind of like slide inside the cover, see what I mean? To extend the book. I did that on the front and on the back. And this is like my own personal book of knowledge that I will continue to write things in, and you need to do the same. But anyway, that's it for now. This video is going over, and I gotta cut it short, or else it won't download. But yeah, be spontaneous, be creative, and you might be a mutant. Message for the day. You're a fucking mutant, man. Nah, let me stop. But look, Evolution has been taking place always. We're always evolving. You're evolving right now as you're watching this video. My videos help you evolve. They help me evolve. They help other entities and other realities evolve. Everybody's evolving, and it's just a simple question of like, how much do you want to evolve? Conscious evolution is a possibility. If you want to take yourself to the next level of evolution, it's just a conscious thought. Do it. That's basically it. Evolve. We'll sit here with the rest of these morons and talk about war and who's Muslim and all this other bullshit. Alright, Seth Sumari to everybody out there, and yeah, Seth Sumari, man, that's right. Got these Sumari juices flowing through my multi-dimensional form. Alright, that's it for now. I'll get back at you.